Russian police arrested more than 3,000 people Saturday in nationwide protests calling for the release of leading opposition leader Alexei Navalny. AP's Sarah Bassett reports.
The protests stretched across Russia's vast territory, where some demonstrators took to the streets in temperatures as low as -58 Fahrenheit. The range shows how Navalny and his anti-corruption campaign have built a network of support, despite government. Navalny's wife, Yulia, was among those arrested. Navalny was arrested this week after returning to Moscow from Germany, where he had spent 5 months recovering from a nerve agent poisoning that he blames on the Kremlin, which Russian authorities deny. The 44-year-old activist is known for his reports on corruption within Russian President Vladimir Putin's government. I'm Sarah Bassett.
President Joe Biden held his first phone call with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson on Saturday, who said he looked forward to working with the new U.S. president, including tackling climate change. Johnson used the call with Biden to welcome the announcements that the United States would rejoin the 2015 Paris Climate Accord and the World Health Organization. The two leaders also discussed the prospects of a free trade. On Twitter, Johnson wrote, "Great to speak to President Biden this evening. I look forward to deepening the long-standing alliance between our two countries as we drive a green and sustainable recovery from COVID-19. A spokeswoman for the Prime Minister said the leaders also discussed the benefits of a potential free trade deal between Britain and the United States. On Friday, Biden spoke to Canada's Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, and Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador. Portuguese voters, largely confined to their homes due to a strict COVID-19 lockdown, will pick a new president Sunday. As Reuters' Edward Barron reports, some fear going to the polls could worsen a surge in coronavirus cases.
The country of 10 million people, which fared better than others in the first wave of the pandemic, now has the world's highest 7-day rolling average of new cases and deaths per million people. Almost 2/3 of voters think the election should be postponed. That's according to a recent poll. Delaying the ballot would have required changing the country's constitution, something officials said was not possible at such short notice. But there has been widespread criticism of the decision to press ahead with the vote for the largely ceremonial president. Pollsters expect record high abstentions. Voluntary teams clad in protective gear are collecting ballots at the doorsteps of some 13,000 quarantined voters, and about 250,000 people have registered for early voting to avoid crowds.
That's Reuters' Edward Barron. Democrats are planning to move quickly on an elections bill in the new Congress. AP's Ben Thomas has details.
States have long had disparate and contradictory rules for running elections, and Democrats in the House and Senate say national rules are needed to shore up American democracy, especially after a tumultuous post-election period and the deadly riot at the U.S. Capitol. The For the People Act would establish federal election standards, mandating early voting, same-day registration, and other voting rights reforms. It would also put the job of drawing congressional districts in the hands of independent commissions and obligate presidents to disclose their tax returns. Republicans are calling it federal overreach. Ben Thomas, Washington.
Legendary broadcaster Larry King died Saturday at the age of 87, according to his official Twitter account. Earlier in the month, Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles said he was battling COVID-19. AP's Julie Walker reports.
King's death at an LA hospital was confirmed on his Twitter account. He'd been battling COVID, but earlier in the month, his spokesman said he'd been moved from ICU. King was a radio host before moving to CNN, where he interviewed everyone from President Obama to Lady Gaga to the Dalai Lama. In 1994, he described his interview style to AP.
What you got to do with people is take them into a comfort zone. If you can make someone comfortable, you own them.
He also said the idea for wearing suspenders came from a former wife.
So I put them on one night and people started calling in saying it looked good, and that's how it stuck.
Larry King is survived by 3 sons and a very large extended family. I'm Julie Walker.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.